Yes. Now we move on to the next field of linguistics, syntax. The term syntax has originated from the Greek word syntaxis, a verbal noun which means arrangement, and traditionally refers to the rules governing the arrangement of words to construct a sentence. Now, do you know what is a verbal noun? Well, um, a verbal noun is a noun when a noun is formed from a verb. When a noun is formed from a verb, you call it a verbal noun. So, what do we notice here? The term syntax has originated from the Greek word syntaxis. Remember this, syntaxis, a verbal noun which means arrangement, and traditionally refers to the rules governing the arrangement of words to construct a sentence. Syntax is thus the study of rules of combining words into phrases, clauses, and sentences. What do we study in syntax? What do we study? We study, like words we study in morphology, whereas words when they're combined to form phrases, clauses, and sentence, then we move into the periphery of syntax, right? So syntax is the study of rules of combining words, that means joining words into phrases, clauses, and sentences. And there is a set rule also of combining words. You cannot combine words in a haphazard manner. No, there are rules of grammar, there are rules of syntax to join words. According to Chomsky, syntax is the study of the principles and processes by which sentences are constructed in a particular language. So what do we study in syntax? You study about how sentences are constructed, how phrases are constructed, how clauses are constructed meaningfully by combining words. Precisely, syntax is a study of elements: subject, verb, object, complement, adjunct, etc. And this we have been studying since early years. I mean, since undergraduate years. Like you have this thing in compulsory English as well. Elements of a sentence. You have it in MA previous also. In the first paper, subject, verb, object, complement, elements of a sentence. So syntax is a study of elements. Subject, these are the elements of a sentence. Subject, verb, object, complement, adjunct, etc. combined together in a sentence. The sentence structure in English is S plus V O. You know that, S plus V plus O. This is the traditional and the right the structure of a sentence. This is how we make sentences in English. Like he plays football, I eat a mango, or he goes to school. What do we say? What do we use? First we use subject, then we use verb, then we use object, and other elements come even after that. Like you have adjunct, you have complement, you have adjunct. Whereas in Hindi and Urdu you have S plus O plus V structure. This is the sentence structure in Urdu and Hindi. You have subject, then you have object, then you have verb. For example, like we say in English, I eat an apple. I eat an apple. And in Urdu and Hindi you say, मैं आम खाता हूँ. Aam is object, mango is object here. Okay. So this coming after the subject and before the verb, whereas in English, S plus V plus O, this is the sentence structure. So structure, is not the same. The structure differs from language to language. Yet, they give the same meaning. Yet the meaning can be conveyed in a similar way. Though in different languages, the structure is not the same. It's different. So this makes a very interesting study. Syntax is often referred as grammar. Yeah, sometimes it is used as synonyms also. Like if you ask somebody what is syntax, they would say grammar, because it includes grammar. In fact, syntax, like you have clauses, phrases, sentences. This is what you study under grammar: the rules of sentence structure, elements of a sentence, and sentence S plus V plus O plus A plus and C, so and so is to forth. The syntax is often referred as grammar because what is usually known as grammar is a study of syntax. What do we study in grammar? We study syntax. It's a study of grammar of a language. Syntacticians try to find answer to find such questions as, let us see what are those questions which syntacticians try to find answers to. Yes, like though the number of words in any language is finite. For example, you have 26 letters in English, you have a dictionary, and dictionary you have a set number of words, fixed number of words. So number of words in any language is finite. Then how can the number of sentences that the speakers can create be infinite? This is interesting. Although words are finite, yet you can make infinite number of sentences out of those finite words. So this makes an interesting study, and they try to find out the answer to this question. The syntacticians we are talking about. What makes a sentence like visiting relatives can be boring, ambiguous? Yeah, what makes a sentence like visiting relatives can be boring? Visiting relatives can be boring. We visit relatives. It can be a boring experience. Relatives visit us. They can be boring. So this you can interpret in two ways. So this is ambiguous. Or say visiting doctors can be a nuisance. Doctors visit us. They can be a nuisance. We visit doctors. That can be a nuisance. So this can be interpreted in more than one way. That is why it is ambiguous. And why would English speaker judge a sentence like colorless green ideas sleep furiously? Or say colorless blue suit being dry clean in the rain? Isn't that awkward, very absurd? Okay, colorless, you are calling it colorless, the adjective is colorless, and yet you are calling it blue. The colorless blue is meaningless. Colorless blue suit being dry cleaned. See, when you dry clean a suit or any cloth or any garment, any outfit, you keep it away from water, is it not? And this is being dry cleaned in the rain, so this is very absurd. But the sentence is very grammatical. Even though it is nonsensical, yet it is grammatical, and that is why you must have seen, like say on your laptop or say on your desktop, what happens on your computer, screen. When you type a grammatically right sentence, it has got proper arrangement of words, subject plus verb plus object, and it is grammatically sound. Although it's nonsensical, then the computer screen won't show any correction there. It will show it as right. But if there happens to be some spelling mistake, if there happens to be some something wrong in the structure of a sentence, if S plus V is not properly arranged in a word, then you will have a red line or a green line or a blue line under it. Whereas you can have nonsensical grammatical sentences, but the computer won't judge it as wrong. This is something. This is a serious flaw. With laptops, is it not? It's a serious flaw. Now, how can languages express the same thoughts when every language has a different sentence structure? As we discussed now, sentence structures are not the same. In English we have S plus V plus O, and although in Hindi we have S O V, S plus O plus V. So how can languages express the same thoughts, same ideas, okay, same feelings, same emotions, same sentiments, when every language has a different sentence structure? Sentence structures are not the same in different languages of the world. Example, why does English sentence I have seen them there? Now this is grammatically sound, this is alright. Why does English sentence I have seen them there? I subject, have is helping verb, seen is verb, them is say object, yeah, and there is adverb of place, that's adjunct. So I have seen them there mean the same thing as Zulayu. Zulayu, what does Zulayu mean? Even though the order of elements in French is I, them, they have seen. This is how you know French make a sentence. They make a sentence like this: I, them, they have seen. I, them, they have seen. This sounds very funny in English, but this is how the structure goes in French. Interestingly, even in Hindi and Urdu, we construct the given sentence exactly the same way as we do in French. Like, I have seen them there. And how do we say in Urdu and Hindi? मैंने उन्हें वहाँ देखा. मैंने उन्हें वहाँ देखा. मैंने, I, उन्हें, them, there, वहाँ, देखा, have seen. So this is interesting that in French, Hindi and Urdu you have the same structure, whereas in English it's different, yet you know they are conveying the same meaning. So this is a matter of curiosity and a matter of study also for the syntacticians to find out and to know. So language is interesting. Like if you develop interest for studying language, for knowing the nuances of language, you would really enjoy it. How can humans program a computer to analyze the structure of sentences is both amazing and baffling. Yeah. Sometimes I find this thing very baffling and amazing too. How can human beings program a computer? Develop a software, that is a computer, to analyze the structure of sentences, that is S plus V plus O plus C plus A. Like if you're framing sentence in this order, I mean S plus V plus O, then computer would show it as wrong. It would be underlined as red or green. So how does computer do it? This is very amazing indeed. So we may say to conclude that syntax is the study how phrases, clauses and sentences. Say you have a study of words in morphology, and when you move beyond words means when you have a combination of words. So first you have phrases, then you have clauses, and then you add up all those, you get sentences, you get utterances in spoken form. The syntax is the study of how phrases, clauses and sentences are constructed and combined in different languages of the world. This is interesting, and please try to understand it. Syntax is the study of how phrases, clauses and sentences are constructed and combined in different languages of the world. Syntacticians frame and define the rules that govern the structure of the sentence of a particular language. This is what syntacticians do. Such rules involve both the order of words and the form of words in their various possible combination. Rules in the order of words, we have discussed S plus V plus O plus C plus A. This is order. Okay, this is the proper or the grammatical order of words in the English language. And the form of words. Form is noun, or say verb, or say object, adjunct. When you study this way, these are forms. A subject will have this place, a verb will have this place, and an object will have this place. So they are forms. Or say the other forms also, like which form of the word, first form, second form, or the third form. That's very important. These are also forms, or the positive form, or the comparative form, or the superlative form. So which form is suitable, which form is apt, which form will be used in a given sentence, and how will it be used, and where would say words would be placed in a sentence. All these are studied by syntacticians. So what do? They in fact, frame the rules of grammar. They tell us how language should be used. Oh, because language doesn't mean that you can speak it the way you like. No, you cannot distort the rules of grammar. You cannot you cannot distort the structure of sentences, because that would be very absurd, very awkward. So what we should respect the rules of grammar. Okay, we should respect the rules of grammar, and we should use or make sentences the way the native speakers do, or the way they have been they have been framed, or they have been told by the syntacticians to us. I mean, the grammarians. We should use language the way grammarians have told us to use. So we should adhere to the rules of grammar. And if we adhere to rules of the grammar, then only we can write correct English, we can speak correct English. So this is all very important. So I hope this is all clear. So up till now we have discussed these fields under the major field of linguistics. First we studied phonetics, then we studied phonology. Okay, after phonology we discussed morphology, and morphology we did in quite detail, and then syntax. So this is all clear to you. Now we may move on to semantics and pragmatics. Okay.